This is a HeadGum podcast.
I had girls always be like, "Hey, you black? What's the kitchen? I need to see your kitchen."
What's your kitchen?
Basically, it's a thing. So like, okay, I'm gonna hip the audience. Black women, I'm sorry, I'm about to tell secrets of the trade. Basically, the kitchen is like
trade of being black.
Yeah, I mean, like the kitchen is like
Oh yeah.
It's like the
little
it's behind your head. It's like the
the kitchen.
the back part of your head. And girls would be like, let me see if you brush your hair, see if your kitchen's clean. Basically trying to see if you had nappy hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, y'all, okay, I clean my kitchen. Is what I used to say to them. My kitchen's been brushed. All right, my kitchen's been waxed, trimmed. Don't talk to me like I'm some
voice,
type of
fifth grade Jerah.
Listen.
I clean
my kitchen. Hey,
clean.
girl, me and you would be good. So you want to jump on this seesaw right now?
My hair, it's never good. We've talked about this before, but
You just got to brush it, brother.
I know. When I was my mom's boyfriend at the time when I was young, so like still middle school, he'd be like, "Yeah, we used to draw maps in people's heads, like if it was nappy, like
you could see the skin."
And I was used to draw a lot when I was younger, so I used to draw my hair like there were buildings on my head. Because you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to be me. I don't care how my hair looks. I'm trying to be me.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, I still have a lot of anger.
Listen, man, people's hair is a thing. And when I remember seeing Wesley Snipes when I was younger and being like, yo, I remember him vividly in, oh my goodness, in White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Because in White Man Can't Jump, Wesley Snipes was the darkest brother in the movie. And he had a hat that I think the kids nowadays, oh God, I'm so old. Like the kids in New York, everyone wants to be 90s.
Yeah.
They used to have like the short, colorful hats that they would fold the brim all the way to the top. So like the brim was folded up. And I remember Wesley had it. But like what Wesley would do is anytime he played ball, he would have the hat on. So he played ball with a hat.
Yeah.
But then he would get the super like jogging shorts and put a colorful tights under it to make them longer. And I was like, yo, this dude is so fresh. Because like he'd be a dark skinned dude with neon green and neon blue outfits on. I'm like, bro, you do realize your skin color alone contrasts with the brightness of the outfit you got on, yo. So cool. I need to give me one of them hats.
He could do it.
He can do it, yo. And Wesley we trust. I mean, not money because
Black man can't jump, but you know what?
Wesley could.
Wesley could.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is?
Black men can't jump. Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Man Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hollywood, say it. Can't jump. He can't jump.
What a black man, Hollywood.
He can't jump. There's a weight on his leg.
Weight on his leg.
There's a weight on his
Because he can't jump, so it's like he's weighted down.
He's weighted down.
I was trying to say why he can't
He's in
jump.
chains. He's in shackles.
I didn't want to say shackles though, because you was taking it too deep.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, James.
Yeah,
Okay.
take it too deep, James.
Getting all militant, James.
Let's not get real, man.
excuse me.
So welcome back to another episode of Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. I am Jonathan Braylock.
I am Jerah Milligan.
And I'm James the Third.
Third.
That is how I said it, Jerah.
The third.
I said it just like that.
We are reviewing the film Blade today.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Blade.
As
Black
the
superhero.
Daywalker.
The Daywalker.
Ooh, funny fact, guys.
Go ahead.
Blade, now, I think I told you yesterday, James.
Oh,
Blade
right.
now, in the Marvel Comics, is a girl.
Oh.
So technically it's not Blade, it's Blade's daughter. So Blade,
Right.
They got relaunched.
But it's
so
the Blade series.
It's the Blade series, and he's like the dad, the one showing off.
Does she go by Blade or does she have a different name?
They haven't announced what her name is.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't started.
It hasn't
yet.
released. Oh, it's the new relaunch.
It's a relaunch. Yeah.
Marvel's doing a new relaunch of
They
their comics.
did, yeah.
guys.
There's a black Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Oh, Miles Morales.
He is officially Spider-Man.
He is officially.
Well, let's get into that. Let's get into that later because I have a whole thingy thing
Oh,
to
great.
talk about. But all right, so let's just Blade It came out in 1998.
98.
98.
Yeah.
Well, not bad. It was a pretty.
Oh, it was a success.
It was pretty successful.
Yeah.
I don't have Box Office Mojo doesn't have like the production budget, but
Yeah.
it made 131 million internet, like
Oh, yeah, it
both
made
domestic
money.
and internationally, which is pretty good worldwide. So
Yeah.
obviously it spun off.
Yeah,
You had
two
Two sequels, the animated series, right?
And
Animated
the
series.
series with Sticky Fingers
Wait,
on
what?
FX. There was a live action Blade with Sticky Fingers. I mean, it didn't last that long. Maybe it lasted for like a season or two.
Yeah.
But like, it was a live action like Blade, and I was like, oh
Wow.
crazy.
That is, I didn't realize. Hearing that makes it even more like it
Yeah.
really transcended. It was like all over the place. Blade.
I mean, Blade was the first. It wasn't the first, but it was the Marvel. It came out before
It
X-Men.
really was.
Right, yeah.
It really was the first. Like a lot. Like some people credit like Blade for like launching the Marvel like comic book movies.
yeah.
And it was definitely the first movie with a black superhero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it might still only be one of the black superheroes.
No.
As the leading
lead.
character.
Except for-
Actually,
except for
I think it's the
Hancock.
first.
Except for Hancock.
Hancock.
Stop.
Yo,
Talk.
I'm
Actually,
just
actually, this is the one time where Hancock actually.
it does have some.
I mean,
Hancock is still terrible. Sorry, Will Smith.
but yeah, no, but I like when I first saw Blade though.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan. Like I saw Blade and Blade 2. I still haven't seen Blade 3. But when I was watching it,
That was with Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel, right?
Yeah.
oh, is that who? Oh, that's right. They played
And
like
Triple
his
H.
sidekicks.
And
Triple H.
Triple
was also
Yeah,
in
Triple
it.
H is in that movie.
But I didn't see that one. But I didn't like Blade when I first saw it. But then watching it again now, I was like really into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your guys' first like thoughts of this movie? Because it actually, I thought that this movie was well received. Like, but I was young,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I thought initially that this movie was well received, but like on Rotten Tomatoes it has like 53%.
Yeah.
But the audience rating is like 74%, which is a lot better, obviously. But
Right.
like critics rating was like 53%. I was like, oh man.
I mean, I don't remember seeing it in theaters when I was younger, but I remember watching it. I remember
Really?
watching it this time and being
That's
like,
weird.
yo,
Or-
yeah, like my stepdad loved like movies. So it was like they're saying whatever I'm saying. But it was interesting because watching it, I'm like, Blade was so good to me. Of course, because Wesley was in it, but also like the lead, the female lead. I thought she was like so well rounded. Like she was smart.
That's true.
Like she had a gun. She was ready to kill
That's
vampires
true.
as well. Like
Yeah.
the only thing, it was very, very. To me, it was like almost like what is that new movie? Mad Max Fury Road. It had
Yeah.
that same vibe where it was like Wesley didn't talk that much.
Right.
He was in every scene. He was a badass. He had his female counterpart who was technically like I'm not saying she was the lead, but like we saw everything
Kind
through
of
her
though.
eyes.
We were going through the film through her
Yeah.
more so
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Wesley, even though Wesley was like the titular character. Yeah.
So
for
like
sure.
she was learning. We saw what happened with her. Like she discovered like the cure. Like she was like an important character. And I just
Very
thought
important.
like it was so cool to have her and Wesley, two dark skinned African American people, like lead a movie. I was like, oh shit. And it made a bunch of money.
Yeah. And this movie really didn't talk about race at all.
There was one moment.
When?
It made me so mad.
Was it the beginning of the film?
No, not the beginning of the film.
Okay,
I thought it was.
because the beginning, I have to say, like the first shot, like pretty much like one of the first shots of the film is like she's like being rushed into the Blade's mother, like being rushed into the hospital. It has the vampire bite, and they like go like towards her wallet like falls down dramatically, and like
Yeah.
you see her license, and like on the license. Like the first word that I noticed was says Negro. Yeah, and I was like, did that say Negro? And I rewinded it and
rewound it.
paused it, and I'm like, yep, it says
that how-
race Negro.
Did it say that on like OIDs? Is that how
Well,
New
it's
York-
I guess so. It must be,
1967
right?
is when the movie opens, and my first thought in that first moment was like, they care a lot about this black woman.
Yeah,
I did too.
I was like,
I did too.
I was like, this is hard for me to believe.
I was like, they like all these white people rushing this black lady in here. She looked like she ain't got no money, and y'all gonna rush her in. Y'all wouldn't have cared about this black
but
lady like that.
but the part that there's one time where
Yeah.
it's when Blade and Frost are face to face for the first time, and he goes, stop this Uncle Tom routine.
Oh, that's what he does.
That's
He
what
does.
about an
He
hour
does.
into the
I think I
movie.
noted that too.
He
He said,
does.
"Uncle Tom."
Yeah.
But you know what? It's so funny because he says that, but to me, it's in relation to like, it's almost like, you know, the black person who like wants to be white. He's the vampire who wants to
It's
be
true.
human.
No,
So-
right, but there's probably other people they could have compared him to. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
so
but it's
sad, so
Uncle
sad.
Tom because he's black. Like,
I definitely
right?
I wrote that down. I wrote that down.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting.
it is interesting. I mean, like people will say that Blade, like the comic books, like it has like a somewhat similarity to the race struggle because
Yeah.
he is like
mean, he's Shaft,
he's
basically.
like vampires are outcast, so he like is outcast. He's struggling with his own identity.
Right.
He's actually mixed because he's like human and vampire.
Right, no, yeah.
And like like so yeah, that is interesting.
Did you guys like it? You
Yeah,
guys, like,
I
actually
mean,
like
I
it?
like I like this movie. Like when I first saw it, I liked it. I definitely didn't see it in theaters. I saw it like probably a couple of years after.
Yeah.
But like when I first saw it, I thought it was really cool. Like the action is awesome. Like I
Yes.
think the best thing about this movie is the action. Like,
Yes, for sure.
rewatching it now, I was like, I still liked it, but I was like, oh, this movie is like, there's very little like. There's not too much character development. I feel like there's
Yeah.
enough that like it holds the movie together.
Yeah.
But like a lot of things happen, which I was like, wait, what? Like, why? Like Deacon Frost's whole character, they never really explain like
Right,
at all.
right.
Like every time I was like, from the first scene, Deacon Frost is like the
Just
bad guy,
evil,
the
brooding.
main bad guy,
Yeah.
the white bad guy. But he was like, he like comes in, he's like not a pure blood, and like there's this table of like. They all look super awesome, like all these like old vampires, and they're like supposed to be pure bloods, like meaning they were born a vampire. And he's just like giving them all like crap and like smoking like in their face. And I'm like,
Why is it?
I'm like,
yeah.
why are they letting him do this?
Right, yeah.
Like they
shouldn't
never,
even have
they
to.
literally never explain it.
Yeah.
They like never explain why he's so much more powerful than them because
Yeah.
you would think that they're powerful, but like.
They're
There's
scared of him
never
almost.
a scene that like I don't know if it's a deleted scene or what, but there's never a scene that like explains why he has more power than these other people.
Right,
And
right.
it made me like look it up. I was like, who is Deacon Frost? And like Deacon Frost in the comics, like he had some weird like superpower where he could like make doppelgangers by biting people.
Oh.
Like it was like something really mystic and weird, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, no wonder they didn't do any of this.
Right.
And he's like older, and he's like, you get the impression that I don't know, he does want to like fight to be like Lord of the Vampires, but like he's supposed to be like stronger and all, and has this weird other power that other
Yeah.
vampires don't. But like in this movie, it's just like.
Never addressed.
It's just he's
true.
Deacon Frost.
He's
the
Deacon
villain.
Frost.
He's
And
a
they're all
villain.
like, because like there's that one scene too where like he slaps like, or that other vampire like slaps him, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And then the other vampire's like, "You're not worth it." And I was like, "Why?"
What?
Yeah. What
It
makes
seems
him
like
crazy?
he is. It seems like he's like just blatantly disrespecting you and clearly wants to kill you. Why aren't you doing anything
And
about
then,
it?
like, after he kills that guy
Yeah.
and just throws his fangs on the table, everyone's just like,
Everyone's like, "Oh, okay."
okay,
Yeah.
well, we must listen to him now.
I'm like, why
what?
can't you all just kill him right now?
Can we say one dumb part is that Deacon Frost can go out during the daytime by using sunblock?
Sunblock. Yes,
Sunblock?
I was so mad.
Sunblock.
was
He goes
like-
out multiple times during the day with sunblock on. I'm like, bruh.
My girlfriend was watching with me at the time, and she goes, "Well, but he's in the shade. He's under the tree." And I was like,
I think it's
That's
also like
not-
they were wearing like he's like it's only for his face, like he couldn't do it with all, but like Blade, like because I was like, yeah, that kind of like breaks the whole Daywalker thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you can do it with
Like
sunblock.
if he could do it and no other vampire could, I'd be like, oh, like he's different. But like because of that didn't happen, I was like, well, it doesn't seem like you're different.
but he could only do it for so long, you know. Like they were like, he's like,
you're tripping.
you're tripping, whatever. Yeah,
I mean, I always say like the action is so crazy in this movie that at the end in that last big fight scene, Blade rips off a guy's Adam's apple.
And throws it at
throws it at another dude, and then Ben kicks him. It's like, first off, I'm gonna rip off your Adam's apple and throw it at somebody else. I was like, Blade, you the man, Blade.
yeah, no, I would say that the action definitely is what kept it going for me. I thought This time around, since I didn't like it the first time, I was just like noticing things about it too, like, you know,
Got it.
like, but I do feel like it's a slower movie, like, you know, like it moves, like the pacing is rather
Really?
slow. Yeah, no, it's like
yeah.
you know, because we're trying to learn the mysteries of whatever.
It's very stylized, and one of the first things that I noticed was that Blade is like beating up this white cop, and I was like,
Yeah, and just like out in public,
and
like
in public,
and
he
no
was
one
in
stops him.
public,
Yeah.
like beating on a white cop, like this black guy
In all leather.
in all leather,
All black leather.
with like a sword on his back, and just like
fade with
smacking
tats.
around this white cop, and I was like, nobody says anything. Like not one person's like,
Yeah.
Like I thought that was so funny.
But wasn't that in Chinatown though? Wasn't he beating him up in Chinatown? Because I feel like Chinatown, they might let that go. They might be like,
I don't know if there was a. So apparently, this movie was supposed technically, it was supposed to be like New Orleans.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
don't
is
know.
there a predominant? Is
It
there a
doesn't really say.
Chinatown
It never
where
says.
they are? You know what I mean? Because there's that
It
area.
might be a Chinatown.
Because there's that area that they go to, and there's Chinese people everywhere.
Right, that's true.
In
That's
that
where he beats up the white
particular
cop,
area.
right?
What's
Isn't that
that?
where he beats up the white
I
cop?
was thinking of the scene later when he meets Deacon and he has
Oh,
the girl,
the
but then
Asian
like
girl.
but then everywhere, aren't there?
Yeah,
other
no,
Chinese-
because he beats up the white cop outside of what's her name?
The apartment?
Yeah.
Sure.
Um,
Deacon Frost threw the little Asian girl through the.
And also
I was
nobody
yo,
did anything.
I'm like, if
Yeah.
no one helped this little girl. like, yo.
no, he saves her, and then like they're back on the sidewalk. People are just walking by. I'm like, that little girl just got hit by a car, and everybody's just like, eh.
No one
Yeah,
cares.
whatever.
Yo,
He threw her through like what was that?
It's kind of
Yeah, no, I thought she was dead for sure. I thought he threw her through like a bus stop, like through like the glass, right through like the glass.
It was
of,
like a
bus
glass
stop.
something. It was like, man, he don't care about you. Like, don't nobody in the neighborhood care about you. Blade kid, y'all. Blade kid.
Blade saves the
Does
the
Blade
white dude
remind
in the
y'all
beginning.
like Shaft a little bit? Because like Blade,
Because all the leather.
like the leather, and then like he has that very. I mean, because he saves everybody. But he has that very like homegrown street level like I'm here to help out my fellow man kind of thing.
Right.
I feel like he's very Shaft like, you know, very like blaxploitation-y. Not in a bad way.
Well,
not in a bad way.
I think
but
that actually
probably how he
this
was
is a good
created.
time to exactly talk about like the comic book history because like he was created. So here's the thing. So Blade was really like a sub character in this other comic book that was created in like 1973. Hold on, I'm gonna find the name of it. I was like reading like this whole history of like blacks in comics. You know, the first black superhero with his own like who was like the lead was Luke Cage.
Was it Luke? He got over Black Panther? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
well,
know
Black
that.
Panther Black Panther was introduced in Fantastic Four, but like he wasn't like the main guy. It wasn't like Black Panther series. Like the Black Panther series like didn't come out until later.
Yeah.
Well, soon Luke Cage will be coming to Netflix.
Yeah. Well,
Boom, boom, boom.
Filming
I have
soon.
no idea. I knew nothing about Luke Cage.
I know.
I'm not a
neither
big
did I.
fan of Luke Cage, to be honest.
I feel like most people probably know nothing about Luke Cage.
But now the world will.
Now the world will.
That's important.
But they like talk about because Wikipedia is like the source of all.
Yeah, we all trust Wikipedia.
We all trust it. Like
you
everything.
you can't just update it whenever you want. It's not like people can just write
They will
whatever they
take
want
it off
on
if
there.
it's false.
Yeah, those right.
They tried.
So
to.
it was a comic book called The Tomb of Dracula in 1973, and like he didn't have his own series until like 93.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
what was the Tomb of Dracula about? Like why?
It was like it was like vampires, like vampire hunters, and like he was one of the vampire hunters that was introduced. But like this one of the guys who wrote him, like this is a cool quote. I think it's worth talking about. Like he says, if I knew, he's talking about like writing Blade. He said, I knew if I let him, Blade would eclipse the other characters. So I pulled him back and let original supporting characters, Rachel, Frank, and Quincy shine. I also wasn't happy with my Blade dialogue, so I pulled him out of the book for a while. I think almost a year. And when I brought him back, I played him a bit straighter. The early Blade dialogue was cliche Marvel black dialogue. Wow. Later on, I tried to make him more real, but it took growing up as a writer. So when he first so that was the thing I was gonna say was like they had like for their black superheroes, like they had an idea of like, whoa, blaxploitation was popular at the time, so like
Right.
things were written in that kind of sense and style. So it makes sense that like Blade has a similar like style to Shaft.
So Blade could come out and be like, Dracula.
You fool!
You fool! Don't make me come over there.
So that was so funny. That was the one thing I was gonna say. There was like one line that was so black that Wesley Snipes said. Wait, what was it?
Was it when the cop shoots him at the beginning?
You say it, Gerard. I think it's funny.
Yo, the thing is, I remember this line.
Do you remember that line?
I do. Hold on. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
I was like, that line made no sense. It like wasn't he never talked this way before. He just I was like, that's
but at the beginning he does go like, you know, when the cop shoots him, he's like, "Motherfuckers, you crazy!"
Oh yeah,
he
crazy.
does.
But it's not.
He does. It's a split moment. It's a split second.
Yeah, it's like okay. And you think though, because that's so early on, is this going to set the tone for the entire movie?
But
then
like
it
no,
doesn't.
he like doesn't speak a lot.
Yeah. But I love that part. I love that motherfucker. You crazy? Because the thing is, it's a perfect shot, like a perfect medium shot. Motherfucker. And the thing is, everything breaks. His voice. If you think about it, his voice doesn't even sound like Blade for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't sound the same at all. Those were the two lines where I was like, what's happening right now?
At least the motherfucker trying to skate uphill. That should at least had like a cool like. Motherfuckers always trying to. It had that like cool black man.
I love your
motherfucker. You
Wesley Snipes
crazy? He was just
impression.
like super. He was super squeaky. Motherfucker, you crazy?
It was like I didn't know what was happening.
I'm like, yo, Blade, you too real. You too real.
Real.
I mean, his mom was Sanaa Lathan though.
Yeah.
Did we peep that? Sanaa Lathan.
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
Blade's mom.
Wait, what is that? Wait, why?
Miss Lathan.
You're like, why is someone just laughing in my ears right now?
Listen, they know I'm laughing because they saw Sanaa Lathan. My thing is, I'm sorry, I know you're supposed to talk about the black man,
Yeah.
but when she appeared at the end, I was like, goodness.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. The thing is, I feel like
They're
she
too
deserves
strong.
more than ha, though. You know what I mean? Like, I
You're
feel
right.
like-
Yeah, be respectful, Joe.
That's all I wanted. Thank you.
I said, sorry, Miss Sanaa, I want to be respectful.
It's so true. There are two strong African American women leads in this movie, and they were both like kicking butt, and even if her character made no sense, they really didn't explain that at all either.
No, they tried. They
They tried, but it didn't make any sense.
You want to know who bit your mother, Blade? It was me.
Which is fine, like that's in the comic books. But his
Yeah.
mom is supposed to die, I think, in the comics.
Yeah.
And like so, her like
Still
being alive, like it didn't explain like she was just like they kind of used it in terms of like the thirst, like Blade's like inner struggle with not wanting to drink blood, like he couldn't bite people. Which I always was every time we talk about it, I was like, why can't you just have somebody donate blood?
Yo, why was it so?
Why can't you just go to a blood bank?
When
But it has to be.
when he bit
Matarani.
at the end, when he bit her at the end, it was like she was like what does he sound like?
Yeah, she did sound erotic.
She's moaning,
That's
he's
what that-
squeezing. I'm like, yo, is he vampire raping her right now?
Yeah,
But
man.
she's like, stop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. That's exactly what that is. You know what I mean? That's why vampires. That's part of
The lore.
The lore of vampires.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey,
It's
Blade,
like
Blade, no means no. Okay, stop when it's stop, Blade. My thing is, it was going on for so long, and I was like, yo,
Oh yeah, because you're
why
supposed to
is this-
fear like he can't control it. It's like this bloodlust that he has, and because he can't control it, like it's very like you understand it in a sexual context.
Yeah.
You know, we don't
Yeah.
want to drink blood,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
there's like, oh yeah, when that lust takes over, it's like hard to
True.
control and stop it.
Oh yeah.
Man, he squeezed. I was like, man, his veins popping out his arm, squeezing her head. Like, man, she can't breathe, Blade.
Yeah.
Damn, I was on your side. You ain't got no shirt on.
So
This is wrong, Blade.
why don't we talk about Wesley Snipes? Because Wesley Snipes. So it's funny. Like we did this movie. There was a point where we wanted to do Passenger 57, and then it wasn't on Netflix, so we like decided not to do it. But the reason I wanted to do Passenger 57 at one point was because it was like Wesley Snipes' first leading. Like he was the
he was the lead.
like star lead and like action hero. His other films before that were really big were White Man Can't Jump, which actually like I think they came out like very close to each other.
Yeah.
But like White Man Can't Jump, but he like that's co-star with Woody Harrelson, and then I think before that he was in Demolition
Yeah,
Man.
Demolition Man came
where
out
he was like the
93.
main bad guy against like.
With a fade. He had a fade, a blonde fade.
Yes. Yes. And he was like insane.
Oh, he was insane in that movie.
But Wesley Snipes is he like the first, like, I guess.
He was the first black
Sadly, we
superstar,
have to
bro.
like discount, like, we kind of have to discount like black exploitation films just because for this podcast, because we like review in films in the context of like
studio backs.
you know,
not
studio
like
backs
Yeah.
and like cross, you know, platforms, like
Yeah.
not cross audiences. I think he was like the first like major black action.
Oh,
star, right?
he is considered the first black action hero.
Definitely a household name.
My only thing is
growing
interesting.
up
Who
for
would
me.
you say is, because I'm not going to.
Has
I feel
anyone
like
replaced
who's a
him?
superstar? Like if you would say, because I know Eddie was really big at the time too.
Yeah.
But I feel like they both were like two different types of leading men.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like even though Eddie Murphy was in like Beverly Hills Cop and like technically it's kind of like an action. It's like it's an action movie, but it's still like an action comedy. I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And like a lot of even like Harlem Nights or whatever. Like I never really considered Eddie Murphy like an action hero. Like
Right.
it's not like his movies aren't like pure action. Even
Yeah,
40
yeah.
because he was in 48 Hours in Beverly Hills Cops, but like
They both were
they're like buddy cop
And he was
comedies.
in,
like-
Metro. Which is also.
but like Wesley Snipes was like action.
But he was an action
superstar.
star.
He
No,
was an
for
action
sure.
star.
How many black action stars are there?
I mean, I'm thinking of him. I'm thinking of
You consider Will?
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
one?
Yeah,
Is he
yeah,
And
because
then,
like Bad Boys and Men in
Dwayne
Black.
The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Does he consider himself black today?
Vin
What day
Diesel.
is it?
What day is it? What time? What time?
Hey,
What time
hey, it's
is
Sunday, so The Rock might be black today.
Hey
might be
man,
black today.
Hey, listen, I love The Rock, but The Rock be choosing when he black. I'm like, hey, Rock, you are
But he-
black
no,
and
he-
Hawaiian.
he
You are
has-
the
he
most
black.
ethnic person out here, bruh.
But you know what I mean? But he can choose.
I can understand I can understand him identifying a little bit more with the Hawaiian nature. Like did he? Cause
Oh, I'm cool with that.
But-
just be ethnic, bruh. When I be seeing him in these movies, again, we're not talking about him now, but in the last couple of movies, The Rock has had not blonde, what was it? A blue-eyed daughter in like 2 movies. I'm like, Rock, that's impossible, bruh. That's impossible.
I like how you're yelling at The Rock like he was the one
Like
who
he
chose.
did it.
He's the lead. He can Rock got
like,
pulled.
yo, no, I need a.
Yo, The Rock, can come get me.
I'ma need a black
You telling
baby
me
in
The
this
Rock
one?
can't be like, yo, can
I'ma
I have
need
my
a-
daughter resemble me in some?
No, he's
I
probably
mean,
like,
I'm
you
sure
know,
he could. Like what? What were you gonna say?
I mean, I would just, if I was The Rock, I would just be like, well, not like, thank God another script, but he's a working actor.
he's not, like, thinking
Script
about the
comes in, it's just like,
casting, like-
oh yes, I'm doing it. Yes,
like
great,
he
another
might like
movie.
see it and be like, "That's kind of weird," but he's not going to be like raise a stink.
I'm
about
not
it.
saying he's raising a stink. But I'm just saying if I'm making a movie and I know I have a daughter in the movie, I mean, could I not? Because the thing is, it exists. Because I had one of my friends, not going to shout you out just in case you listen to the podcast, was up for a movie with Jessica Chastain, and Jessica Chastain got the chance to
Same-
pick her daughter, and she's like, "This
interesting.
person looks more like me, and this person's younger, so I'm not like an old mom, you know." So
Yeah.
like, it happened. So I'm like, I'm not, and
Yeah.
I think The Rock may be bigger than Jessica Chastain. So I'm saying he
Right.
could have some type of pull.
He's
certainly
certainly
is.
bigger than
No,
Jessica.
I'm only saying it
Chastain.
depends on who you ask. You know, she's been
No,
nominated
but
for 2
yeah.
Oscars. He hasn't.
Yeah, no. That's a good point. And
I bet you Wesley
And so
gonna have a
now,
black boy.
The Rock, if you are listening to this, just black man can't jump. Would
I just want to know what race you're gonna be. And you gonna be ethnic or you not? That's all I want to know, Rock. I love you, but just let me know so I can know which Rock to vote for. You know what I'm saying on the Kids' Choice Awards. That's
Well,
all.
he
Why do we
was.
start?
sorry.
I love The Rock.
This is an important conversation.
This smell.
What were we talking about before we started talking about?
Yeah,
The
we
Rock?
were talking about Wesley Snipes.
Okay, great.
You know, the
Action
star.
stars.
You know, the star.
Oh right, action stars though.
Action
but yeah,
stars.
so the Rock counts, and then like Vin Diesel. Have I said
Vin Diesel,
already?
he counts.
He counts, and then Vin Diesel.
Is Vin Diesel black?
He's black and white. He's black and white. He's half.
And then
I always thought he was like Hispanic.
Oh,
no, isn't
he
he?
got some
Doesn't
Negro.
he?
He got some Negro in him.
Yeah,
I can
no,
remember
he's-
him.
No, I didn't. I legitimately didn't know.
And
that.
then there are people who like show up in action movies on occasion. Like Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx did like Stealth and
right.
you know,
Excuse me,
and
Stealth.
Stealth, right?
I mean, I guess the idea of like an action hero has like died out a little bit.
Yeah, I think it certainly has
But
a little. bit.
Wesley Snipes was like Wesley Snipes.
he
Everybody
was the
knew who
man.
Wesley Snipes was.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love Wesley Snipes. Like I saw Passenger 57. Like
Oh, I saw all
you
those.
know,
movies.
yeah. Like Wesley Snipes was like. So for having him to be Blade and like be that first like black superhero, like comic book superhero, was like huge. And like I wasn't into comics that much, but like I watched comics. Like I watched like comic book cartoons. I
Yeah.
think we all did, right?
Yeah,
like
oh my God.
X-Men, Batman, and
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, yeah. The
All
Hulk.
of
and
them.
so like
cartoon,
in
all
all of those things, like the only person you had was Storm. Like Storm was like the only black.
And she was important. She was like, you know what I mean? It was like,
she
oh my
was.
God, Storm, she's black.
Yeah,
it
we
was
had porn. Like
oh.
it was like Storm, and like I remember like for Halloween and stuff like that. Like I actually didn't dress up for Halloween. Like as a kid, like we like our family like just didn't participate in Halloween for religious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But like I remember like thinking like, oh, or even like pretend time when people wanted to be superheroes. I was like, oh, I can only be the Black Power Ranger.
Yeah.
That's so sad. That's
Like
so
that's
sad,
the like
man.
like that was like my superhero was like the Black Power Ranger because there was nobody else. It was like who else? Like the Black Power Ranger, my sister could be Storm, and like that was it. Like there was nothing else. And so like for this, it was so to me it was like so huge. And I remember in high school we had like for what do you call it? Spirit Week or
Spirit Week, yeah.
Like one of the days it was like dress up as your like favorite, like dress up as a superhero, and so like I dressed up like as Blade, and like I felt so like I don't think I've ever felt cooler in high school.
Yes.
Like I wasn't a nerdy kid, but like I wasn't like super popular either. Like people knew me because like I did like theater and stuff like that, but like I felt so cool like dressing up as Blade. I was like, yeah, like I borrowed my friend Kyle's like leather jacket,
Nice.
like I had like black gloves on, and I had like the shades, and I felt like so cool.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Nah, man, that's real. Because like, when you think about a Blade, I mean, still to this day, like I know we have like Cyborg movie coming out, we have like a Black Panther movie coming out eventually, but like this came out in '98.
I didn't know about Black Panther.
And
And
I
it still ain't
didn't
been
know
about
about
Black
Panther.
Black Panther. I thought Black Panther was the first one.
Black Panther is the first. Black Panther. Sorry. So Luke Cage was the first like to
get
have
his
his
own.
own
Gotcha,
series.
gotcha.
Black Panther was the first black superhero,
Gotcha.
and it was like '66.
Yeah, because Black Panther is just like
Comic books that had been around for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And he was the first, or at least for Marvel. I don't know for DC, but I think Marvel was always
Marvel
was always
had
more
two.
liberal.
They had two. They had Black Panther, and then Captain America had a sidekick, Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon
Yeah.
came.
So-
So Black Panther was first, then Falcon,
And then
so,
they had-
because like DC like.
Cyborg and
Static
technically.
I didn't even know like Static Shock was that a cartoon first or
The
a
thing
comic
is,
book?
it's so crazy that DC Comics. I support.
Oh,
y'all.
here we go.
No, I support.
Oh,
listen,
you
y'all know me. I support DC Comics. Batman, I'm a fan. But now that I'm thinking about it out loud,
Here
it's
it
like
goes.
Cyborg just became a Justice League member in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
And then Static Shock was in the comics a little bit, but then what was it? Shaquille O'Neal and someone else decided to like make a cartoon version of it on a WB.
Yeah.
And I think I was in high school, maybe like eighth
That's
grade
the
when
first
it came
time
out.
I ever heard of Static Shock.
Because
And I was like,
he wasn't
cool.
a big thing. He wasn't a
black
big thing.
superhero.
But then what about for DC though? What about when Green Lantern was
John Stewart's Green
Right.
Lantern
Yeah.
is interesting because
Justice
for
League.
him it's like, for instance, with John Stewart, it's almost, to me, John Stewart is what they're doing with Cyborg. It was like, oh, we're trying to relaunch, and it happened for the cartoon. So like,
Right.
we're gonna relaunch it. We need a black character. Okay, Hal Jordan, he went bad in the comics. We can make this black. We can make a black.
and it
Green
happened in the
Lantern.
cartoon first.
I mean, that's when I saw it first,
Yeah.
and I know it went, and people loved them because kids grew up with like the cartoon. But it's like
Yeah.
Cyborg now. It's like, oh, Hal Jordan's back. Who's the white Green Lantern? Oh, we need a black character. Let's take this dude that's in the Teen Titans, Cyborg, and let's just make this black
and
dude. Like he's still a kid on Justice League. I mean,
Right.
in the Justice League, he's just the youngest one on the team.
Right.
So it's like you just needed a black person on this show.
I
you
mean,
know?
I would say that with Blade, like I don't even know that I looked at him as a black superhero.
Neither did I.
When
Right,
when
it
the
was like
movies came out.
Right, it was like a superhero.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't even think like
It wasn't
didn't
like
even-
Super Friends, like you
Right.
know, like Super Friends. They had like they were like, well, we have to add like some diversity to this, so
Yeah.
like
Right.
we'll make like Apache Chief, like which
yeah.
was like just a Native American, like a very stereotypical like
Yes.
chief Native American, and his power was he can grow 50 feet, like that was his power, and he was like barely ever in the show, and like, do they have a black superhero on that?
Oh, this DC Comics, no. It's DC
It's so
Comics.
funny,
Oh,
like
and-
even when they were trying to be politically correct, they didn't.
They did have oh my goodness.
Who do they
It was like a what is his name? Matter of fact, he's going to be on Arrow this season. Not Mr. Fantastic. He's like I gotta look it up. It's like he's like Mr. Incredible or something like that. He has like a silly name.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's like a very disco. He was like a very disco heavy dude. He's going to be on this coming season of the Arrow.
Cyborg. Wikipedia is correct. The first time he was seen is 1980. Yo, DC, what's wrong with y'all?
I know, man. I'm thinking like y'all were
DC
out
sucks.
first.
No, you know what? Here's the other thing about DC. How long has Jon Stewart been in the? At least
Let me look.
Because in the Justice League, we're all like on our phones, like looking up, like, wait a minute,
We have to.
when these black,
Yeah, like-
when these black superheroes getting here?
Wait,
this ain't right.
I know, but it's so interesting what you said though, Braylock. Is like when you think about it, it's interesting because when you're a kid, and I have, I don't have brothers and sisters, but I have like little cousins now, like young female cousins, like 7 and 2 years old, and I'm looking at the stuff they watch on TV,
Yeah.
and they don't see themselves on TV,
Right, exactly.
And like as a little kid, I'm thinking about it right now. I always wanted to be Batman, but there's never going to be a black Batman because everybody else in the movie has got to be black.
Wait,
Because there's only one black dude in
Yeah.
the movie, and you can see Batman's chin. Oh, obviously the one black guy in the movie's got to be Batman.
Oh, wait, no, so wait, check it out. Black Vulcan was on Super Friends.
Black Vulcan. That's right. I knew they had a black
And
one.
there was Black Lightning on Super Friends in the comic books, but
But yo, I watched Super Friends. Black Vulcan almost never appeared.
1971.
I don't even
Jon
remember what
Stewart.
he did. What did Black Vulcan do? Was he like? Was there like a steel element, like he had a hammer or whatever?
it looks like he has something in his hand. His powers include the ability to emit electricity from his hands. I mean, he's essentially Black Lightning, but they called him Black Vulcan because
They never. That was
because the creators of Black Lightning were like, we don't want you to put him on the cartoon. I don't know.
I mean, but Blade is so interesting because
Oh.
Blade, like, dude,
the first black.
badass.
The first Jon Stewart was the first
71?
appearance was 72. So yeah, no, you're right, 71. Sorry, December 71, January 72. Yeah. So they've had that for so long. Why hasn't there been a Black Green Lantern movie?
They're trying to do it
Well,
now, but you know who's?
Yeah, we were talking about it. Tyrese.
No, it needs to be Idris Elba.
Yes,
But the thing
yes.
is, yes, it does need to be. That's who it needs to
That's
be.
who it needs to be.
But I
Why
love
would it be?
Tyrese. I love
For
him.
what, man? Get
So
Tyrese.
I
Get
think
the
he's
fuck out of
very
here with
funny.
Tyrese.
He has a great smile.
What the fuck, like, shit, man. My thing is I'm curious to see like if they remake Blade, because my thing is I feel like back to Wesley Snipes. I feel like what this movie did for Wesley, I feel like Wesley Snipes was always that guy who was the black guy that white audience did know. Like, for instance, he's not the Morris Chestnut. Where only black people know who he is.
Right.
No offense,
Yeah.
Morris Chestnut, but like Morris Chestnut is the black actor. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like Wesley was teetering that line.
yeah, no.
And Blade pushed him over because, and Blade 2 was huge.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro directed it. Blade 2 was like nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he started getting like was it 3 million, 4 million? I mean, it's not a lot compared to other people, but like 5 million for a movie. And it's like,
Right.
yo, you've officially made it, and this movie did that for you. And he was the only one. I mean,
he was
besides
big before, but
he was.
Yeah.
No, he
but like
was-
this is like he became
was
like
pretty, like,
blockbuster big after this.
He was like everybody. I don't know. I never saw Jungle Fever, but
I mean, he was in
Jungle
what was
Fever,
it U.S. Marshals, the sequel to The
Yes.
Fugitive. He was like
Money Train. I remember that.
with J-Lo. With J-Lo.
I'm looking at it.
Money Train. I
IMDb.
loved Money Train.
Yeah, but you're right. Blade was like that's like Wesley Snipes.
Blade-
Oh, The Art of War. I remember that. What happened to Wesley? Oh, right. He.
His taxes.
Oh,
His taxes.
hey guys, if you,
So he made a shit ton of money on Blade, but then he was like, I ain't paying y'all.
I paid.
guys,
Hey,
if you're home, audience, if you're home listeners and you have Netflix, watch the Chris Tucker Live. And in the Chris Tucker Live thing, Chris Tucker talks about because he was friends with Wesley Snipes. Because they
snap.
both were like, at the time, Money Talks, like Chris Tucker was huge, so was Wesley.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, he was asking Wesley tax advice. And he said, Wesley looked at him while hitting the J, takes a pull, turns to him, Blade don't pay taxes. Oh! He said, that's what he says to him. Blade don't pay taxes.
That is amazing.
I was like, yo.
it's criminal, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Like, don't ever do that.
Yeah. Like he
Don't
went to
ever.
jail for it, but that's awesome.
But that was
you know?
because he didn't say Wesley don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
He said Blade don't pay
Yeah.
taxes.
Like if you really like break it down, like it's one of the dumbest things someone's ever said, but like that is the best.
It's like, I mean, oh man, what do you say to that?
Don't David. Oh my god. Yeah, man. Blade is iconic.
Blade don't pay taxes.
Blade don't pay taxes. Oh man, no, I love and so I guess the thing that I do want to say is like the reason because some people might be like, man, like get over it. I feel like, but
get over what though?
Why do I feel like that there aren't like too many like black superheroes? But
but comic book fans aren't nice about it. Like for instance, I don't know if you guys keeping up with Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
He's gotten like crazy.
So
death
this is the
threats
thing, and
recently.
this is like one of those things that it's hard. Like the same goes for historical pieces and things like that. It's like okay, so comic book but it's not like historical pieces is totally different actually because comic books is like it's already fiction, right?
Yeah.
So like the characters matter more so than like the color of their skin, right?
Yes.
And
The
like
essence.
and like to me like Blade like was that kind of movie where like great he's a black superhero but like he's not a black superhero that's just like dealing with race and like
Right.
it's like you know like but he's a superhero who like if you are black you can be like self-identify and be like oh man I see myself represented on screen and white people can look at a black superhero and not be like oh what's this black guy gonna do like they can also emote themselves like the thing that a lot of people who are not minorities don't understand sometimes is that when you are a minority living, so when you're a black person living in a mostly white society and the films that you see mostly have like white leading like protagonists, you are forced to like self-identify with those people, even though you don't have like the same background, same physical complexion as them. So you automatically you become like more and more sympathetic and empathetic to like that like cause like the things that they're dealing with like so like I've become empathetic to like stoners even though I've never smoked pot in my life and like because I've seen so many like comedies that like feature like white stoner dudes, you know what I mean? So like but like so to have like a black superheroes are supposed to be the best of us. It's supposed to be like this like archetype that like can't really exist in real life, but like we want it to, or like we want somebody who's like a protector going to save us, like maybe has like troubled past or whatever, but like they push all of that aside to do like the ultimate good. And to have that be a black person to me is like super important. Yeah. So like Blade was like very, very important.
Yeah, no, anybody
even
saying,
though the movie itself was a piece of junk. No, I'm just
saying like get over it.
Hey, oh my goodness!
What?
I just
we
kidding.
didn't spar in. You gonna call it like, damn. Granted, I said I didn't like it when I first saw it, but like, come on, man.
No. It was a good action. It was a good action.
I mean, the thing is so funny is again, I keep comparing it to Mad Max. Even looking at how like in certain parts they sped up the footage.
Yeah. The
Like-
special effects are like. They must have looked good at the time, but they are so dated now.
Oh, the blood!
No, yeah,
the blood
they
is so bad.
crap.
They must have looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, it must
But,
have
like,
looked really
I don't
good.
know,
then.
like I feel like Terminator 2 special effects are better than this.
Yeah, but there are
Terminator
a
2.
lot of movies that came after those movies that the special effects. It's because like special effects are so advanced, right? And then like you know people are still trying to understand lighting and stuff like that. So like that's why that looks bad, but it you know
Yeah.
is
It did
better.
look cool.
You know what I mean? It is
cool.
better than Terminator 2.
I don't think any other vampire movie had like people like had the vampires like exploding into this like kind of dust.
Yeah.
Like that was always cool to me. I thought
Yeah.
like especially that first scene where like the blood is pouring down and then he comes in and like there's just like oh snap and then he just starts like
And
that was
it's
so
so
awesome.
slow. The matter of fact, everyone he just stands there. You see
Yeah.
the boots first, and it just slowly pans up, and you see everyone else's reactions before it shows Blade. And I'm like, dude, how badass are you that you're in a room full of vampires? I know you got to. I mean, yeah,
He's the only person. But still, he's the only person.
just him, and he. Oh my goodness, the action in that is crazy.
He like what is it? There's another scene where he like walks in and he just like smiles. Like
Yeah.
Oh, he's
all
ready
these
to
people come in
fight.
And he smiles. I was like, damn, this dude.
Yeah, I mean, even the end when Blade finishes sucking the blood, and like, for some reason, like I got hype watching it when I was watching this. You know when you know the action set piece is coming. He literally sucks the blood. Deacon Frost like now is like was it the blood god or whatever, and all of a sudden Blade does a quick look up, head turns real vampire.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
first time he ever did like a vampire move, the quick head turn, and he just runs.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden like he picks up his vest, his blade, and just jumps. I'm like, oh,
It's going down.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. And then he literally after that whoops everyone's ass. And how do you take off an Adam's apple?
You know why? Motherfucker's always trying to skate up. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. We're sponsored today
Yes, we are. We are sponsored.
by Me Undies.
Me Undies.
James III, do you wear underwear?
Yo, I wear underwear all day, every day.
Because if you didn't, that would be gross.
Well, I mean, I do, so.
I'm just saying that's kind of gross that you would think about not wearing it.
Well, what? I mean, one day you might be like, maybe not today.
I knew it.
For like one day.
I knew it.
One day you might be like,
it.
you know what, Commando. For one day.
Listen, I'm telling you why I wear underwear every day.
Why do you wear it?
It makes me feel sexy and confident.
Oh, hey.
Because let me tell you something right now. When I'm wearing a good pair of underwear, I feel good.
Oh, yes.
And I walk around the city and I'm like, how you doing? And people are like, what's going on? Oh, there's probably some real nice underwear that he's wearing.
You know what? It might, see, the reason why I might not want to wear underwear every day is because maybe I'm wearing some like crappy underwear. Maybe I have bad underwear.
Well, you know what? You don't have to wear bad underwear anymore.
What? Why?
Because of Me Undies.
Me Undies?
Yeah, man. Me Undies is made from modal, which is a fabric that's twice as soft as cotton.
Oh, man. That's twice as soft as what I'm wearing right now.
Oh, snap. Listen, it's it's got tons of colors and styles, right? And the only place to get matching pairs for men and women. So,
wait.
Because you got a girl, right?
I do. I got a girlfriend.
And
we can wear the same.
You can wear the
underwear?
same matching sexy underwear. That's amazing.
Oh, snap. We could be matching and sexy together.
Plus, okay, look, we all know that paying for shipping sucks. So Me Undies has removed that from the equation.
No.
Yes, they
Stop
did.
it.
All orders from the U.S. and Canada are shipped for free.
Wait, so you saying if I go to MeUndies, right?
.com.
If I go to MeUndies.com.
/black.
Okay, and then I'm like looking at different underwear.
Yeah.
And I see a price.
Okay.
That's the price. Like, I don't got to be like, oh, but
Let me do some math. Right. $5, man. Shipping costs more than $5.
It's more than $5?
Yeah, but not for Me Undies.
Not for MeUndies because it's free.
That's right.
Woo, I love some MeUndies.
And, dude, Me Undies has a money back guarantee.
Stop. Wait a minute.
Don't tell me to stop.
Money back guarantee?
Yes.
No, stop.
No, I'm
right
not
now.
stopping. It has a money back guarantee, and if you don't love your first pair, you get to keep it for free, and you have nothing to lose.
Wow. So MeUndies, they must be sexy and confident themselves.
I know,
They
right?
saying free shipping.
That's
they
right.
saying they'll give you the money back.
Mm-hmm. And okay, that's not all. To sweeten the deal, MeUndies is offering you 20% off your first order if you go to MeUndies.com/black.
So I'm on MeUndies.com/black, right? And I'm like, I want this underwear. It's
Now you have to do math,
and then I have to do math.
but you have to subtract.
But I have to subtract. 20%. That's the kind of math I like to do.
You like
the only kind of math I like to do is when I take away dollars.
Yeah.
I like doing that.
Well, that's a special offer just for, our listeners. So MeUndies.com/black to get 20% off your first order. Make sure you go there, MeUndies.com/black, to know that we sent you. All right?
All right.
Get some sexy underwear for yourselves. We going back to the show.
All right, now that we back, Jerah, I think it's time for the swirl.
Oh, it's time for that swirl. All right, guys, I want to do something a little special for the swirl today.
Oh, God.
I want to do something a little special.
You do something for the special for the swirl every day.
Yeah, this
every time.
But this is a different swirl because I feel like Wesley Snipes was the epitome of a black man at that time. Strong, smart, dark. Dark
Also,
chocolate. He's what I would have been.
Wesley Snipes is dark.
Oh, that's a dark man. That's a
he's
dark man. But also, this movie had a beautiful, beautiful black lead.
Yes.
Which we appreciate.
I appreciate her so much. I'm gonna pronounce her name right. Nabushe Wright was her name. Didn't make that many movies afterwards. Now, my problem with Blade, and I love Blade. All right, two big issues. Okay, Blade could have had sex twice in this movie.
Yes.
Did he have sex one time? Guys, did he have sex
He
one
actually
time?
didn't have sex
He
with
had
anybody.
sex one time.
Let
Blade was in
alone a
shape.
white woman.
Blade was in shape.
Yeah,
Blade
right.
was chiseled. He, my friend, okay, if he was from Zamunda, Okay, he would have been a king.
What?
Zamunda.
Zamunda.
that a real place?
No, Zamunda is not a real place. It's a place from Coming to America. but the point I'm trying to make, okay, is that he is a walking statue.
It's
Couldn't
true.
even name a real place.
I'm talking about Zamunda. Okay,
Did we see? The only time you see Blade with his shirt off was the end, right?
He has his shirt off a couple times when he's in the chair.
Oh, right,
getting
when he's in the
injection.
chair.
So he has his blade off. His shirt off a couple times. But you really don't
No,
Blade.
he's chiseled.
He's never
chiseled in
really
it.
sexualized in the film.
He's never. And my thing is, this is my problem. Okay, you got this chiseled black god. Okay,
Why you gotta be a black guy?
Got this man, and you're not gonna see him as a sex symbol. He hit the gym for this movie. Hold on.
He was dealing with so much.
That's why he needed the stress reliever.
So much turmoil?
He needed the stress
Mama was
reliever.
bad.
First off, the only person who touched him in
mom
a
died when he
sexual
was a
way,
baby.
the only person who touched him in a sexual way in this movie was his mom.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
true.
The only person who
That
touched
was
him
so
in a sexual way
weird.
is his
What
mom.
a weird,
She
dumb
did.
scene that was.
And you telling me you got this dude at the gym? Okay, but let's go back to Nabuche.
Okay, all right.
Nabuche.
Wait,
Okay,
Yeah, let's get back
Can we
to
also
the
say? I just want to say there was a lot of sex in this film.
People
were getting
Blade
oral.
was the only person who was like not sexual.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like there was a lot of kissing. There was a lot of
There was
in the
oral in the
beginning.
club.
Yeah, that dude is getting
He's getting a blowjob
Yeah,
in the
he's
club.
getting
in the
straight up
beginning.
blowjob.
Like how many different times like do people like kiss with like blood and like Deacon gets it on with Blade's mother and like
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people.
That's
so there was a
true.
lot. It's not
Deacon
like this
got
film
ass.
like didn't want to sexualize people. They really didn't want to sexualize
Ooh,
Wesley
and do
Snipes.
you know what the perfect example is? I talk about this all the time. There's always cases in movies and TV shows where a white man has sex with a black woman. In this movie,
Yeah.
Deacon has sex with Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah.
A beautiful black woman and Blade's mom. He is literally a motherfucker in this movie. He's literally doing it. So you telling me after Blade gets
We don't like see the sex scene, but it's very
Oh,
heavily
we know she
implied.
half naked. Not only is she already naked, she's naked in a white room, covered in a white
Yo,
blanket.
she be in his
Some weird coffin.
sleep coffin. She
Yeah.
be in that.
In the jump.
She
And this
did.
is my thing. Blade gets out. Nabuche comes out, gets him out, right? She gets him out. You telling me that he can suck a blood, but he can have a little sex scene where it's like they having sex and he's sucking blood. So now it's like this is my thing. They're already making, both of them are already doing every motion like they're having sex. Just have sex then, Blade. Okay.
I feel like that would be inappropriate to
No.
have sex while like a blood god is being
No, to me, that's when you know it's real. Because you know what?
That's
'Cause
when you know it's real.
Because that right there, if he would have had sex and sucked the blood, that shows me why he came out with that much energy. You know, if you have sex and good sex, you feel like you just conquered the world. You're like, shit, I just want to go dance. Blade could have kicked one more time.
What? How do you have sex?
Listen, you never had sex and it felt like, whew, I can go for a run. I never had that. You felt good.
I feel like that would be the opposite.
Man, listen. Sometimes you want to go see. Sometimes I'm like, yo, what you want to do?
all right.
Let's cure cancer.
Let's
You know
cure
what we gonna do? Let's do
cancer.
something. Let's go paint. Let's go build a house.
I can't argue with that part.
If you did it, you know. This is my thing. You know, ladies at home, okay? All right, you know when you with your man and your man has done his job. Not only are you proud of him, but you know he proud of himself. He might do the beat it up right dance. You know, who knows what he might do? You know what I'm saying? He might just start stretching for no reason.
Beat it up right.
Okay, wait. So
the second swirl.
sorry,
second
the
swirl,
second swirl,
which is
the
going to be
second
the actual swirl.
All right, the actual swirl. All right, so okay.
Like we'll like be like haha and like kiss them and then
And
be like
pounce on them.
and then like kiss them and then like leave them and like kind of like play with them like in that way.
Yeah.
In Wild Wild West that didn't happen. In this movie it didn't happen.
Yeah.
We all talk about Beverly Hills Cop. He don't even get a kiss on the cheek.
They intentionally made him just friends with her.
Yeah.
And you tell me Blade can't
will
get
say-
kissed from nobody.
And it's a rated R movie.
She could.
There was a blowjob in the beginning.
There was a
scene.
blowjob.
She
There was
could
a
have robbed Blade
blowjob.
for
How
2
many
seconds.
movies are there just blowjobs
Yeah,
in?
that's true.
Not that many. Not in the opening.
Not that
And
many.
the thing is, when Blade came in, dude pushed her. He pushed her up off him. He Blaze it and just like shoved her head up off him to get ready for Blade. You tell me she could climb up on Blade, look him in the eyes.
I gotta say, yeah, I'm actually now mad that didn't happen.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like this should have. I feel like in this
world, it could have happened. In this world,
happened.
Yeah.
because he still was imprisoned. She didn't let him go. Blade could have had sex 2 times in the same scene.
In the
In the same scene. Because you know what
Wait,
could
with his
happen.
mom? Oh no, with
No, with the
other
other girl.
He
And
could
the
have had
thing
sex 3 times apparently.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen.
I guess
but hold
so,
on.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
way-
why
the
was
way
the
his
one
mom was
sexual
touching-
thing they put in was with his mom?
I know.
What a weird
But
scene
his
that
mom was annihilation though. You
was-
don't have a swirl wave.
I didn't know if that was his real mom. Like I was waiting for them to be like, "That's not his mom."
I was
Yeah,
too.
for her
I
to
was
be,
too.
but it was.
for her to be like a weird copy that
Yeah,
Frost
like
was
some-
able to like really think about the deep connections that Blade has with Hancock. Because like, if
I'm gonna
you
let you-
think
I'm gonna
about-
let you finish.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
If
let you
think
finish.
about it, right? Hancock is this tormented superhero. He has abilities that he doesn't know or understand.
No, Hancock knows what
And
he
he's,
can
no,
do.
He knows exactly what he can do. Everyone does.
He's like feeling like, wow, like I'm alone. I'm the only one like me on Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, he's,
that's
like,
true.
Feeling that,
That is true.
you know. And then
Are you crying?
he's a
What are you doing?
no, but then he
Yeah, those are
becomes-
real tears.
But then he becomes like
Don't cry
better
into
than
the mic.
himself. No, I'm sorry.
We gotta use that mic
No,
next
I'm
week.
sorry, y'all. He becomes stronger than he ever was.
Are you?
Is it? I feel so
Just
uncomfortable.
like
How is
Blade.
Hancock making you emotional?
How does that have to do with the swirl?
sorry.
What's it got to do with the swirl?
It don't have nothing to do with the swirl.
Oh, you just talking
This ain't
about
about the swirl. This is about being a black superhero and being alone and struggling. I'm sorry.
Can I say one thing though? In Hancock.
Yeah,
for
let me
Hancock-
just pass let me just pass James the tissues.
Yeah, because my thing about Hancock though, I mean, Hancock is his fault.
What?
Everything in that movie happened.
How
his fault.
dare you?
I don't want to talk about Hancock.
I guess
Hancock
Blade
is a black superhero.
It's
That's
Blade's
a perfect
fault,
time.
huh? I guess it's Blade's fault too, huh? It's Blade's fault that he's a half-blood walking around.
But he tried to do.
deal.
No, but
Hancock
he
is
tried
a
to do
drunk.
something. Yeah, he's a drunk. He doesn't shave. He doesn't bathe.
Because he doesn't know what's going. He doesn't know what's happening to him.
That the reason Hancock is a terrible
doesn't
movie.
know.
That movie has the movie explores that for half of it, and then it's just like, oh, this is we're Egyptian gods.
What?
It makes no sense.
Well,
It makes less sense
When do
than
we-
Deacon Frost just being super powerful. Like some
No,
super.
when do we-
Also, like when he turned into the blood god, what was the difference?
you know.
Oh,
could
right,
die,
right. That
he
he
could
could
die,
regenerate
he
the
could
regeneration, right?
But
right.
also in Hancock though, Hancock got shot. Like he almost died because he got shot. He's a superhero.
No,
Was
he almost died because he was in love. That's why he almost died.
Okay.
His love.
All right.
is why.
So let's go to a real.
Okay.
I think it's time. I think it's time for the cause.
But the cause.
All right.
Bop, boop, 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 bop.
Cause.
I don't think we have theme.
We don't
We don't
have
have
theme
a
for the
theme
cause.
for the cause.
We can,
That's
do,
okay.
we can do it.
Come up with something.
Hey,
Yo, actually, listeners, start. Like, if you want, make us a theme song.
then make us one for the cause.
Make us one for the cause. If you like one for the swirl.
Hey, if it's
if you
gonna
want
be-
one for Hancock, I
Hey,
guess.
hey.
Yes, thank you.
If you're gonna do one for the swirl, it's got to be extra sexy.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of the theme song, John Swan, great.
Oh, and John Swan.
John
That's what I
did,
mean.
our, he did our main theme. He's
Did our
you
main
know,
theme song.
on
I
the
guess we
ones
should
and
have him do the
twos.
rest of them too. It's like
What?
might
No,
not
no,
do
but
the rest.
I mean, it's cool to open it up to.
Yo,
hits
John
the-
Swan is the
Yeah,
bomb.
John Swan hooked us up.
Yeah.
He's really good. Hire him.
I think ladies can contact him too.
Contact who?
John Swan? I don't know. I don't know if
Hey,
am I blowing him
hey,
up? Is he?
Hey! The only person get hooked up on the show is me. Okay.
Oh, God.
John. Hey, John. I appreciate you, but hey.
Okay, well, this is
All
a
right,
different
so
cause.
we're talking.
So
We're talking about the cause, whether or not this film helps black leads to be in major motion pictures.
Yeah.
What it does for the black cause, baby.
For the call.
Black
so-
cows.
Tell them our.
Oh yeah. A fist, full fist is like 100%. It's helping the cause. We got a white palm, so or nothing.
Yeah.
So 3 fists. I don't think a movie has gotten it yet.
Hey yo, y'all better like. I feel like we've never. These votes always.
We know. It's always who
These
knows,
votes
baby.
always-
I mean, who
but we gonna
knows what's
find
gonna
out.
happen. We're gonna see.
So here we go. On the count of Trace, we gonna lift that up. Here we go. A 1, a 2, 3.
Guys, this is the first ever.
Oh,
3 black fists.
we got 3 black fists.
3 black fists.
Blade.
Yo,
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Yo, Wesley did it.
The epitome of black.
Yo,
Wesley
got
Snipes is the
three.
blackest man in Hollywood.
Wesley Snipes is
we
the
have
blackest
reviewed
man in
we have
Hollywood.
reviewed Eddie Murphy movies,
Yes.
Will Smith movies, Denzel Washington, and none of them got three black men.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
What?
So who wants to start?
I can't even believe that happened.
I mean, I'll start just because like I feel like I said a lot before, which is like to me, one, this film is iconic. It was the first black superhero film like that wasn't a black, like I'm not counting Shaft, like you know, it was the first black superhero comic book like film made. Like it didn't deal like race, whatever, like very, very, very limited factor that it played. Like it wasn't just references really, like didn't factor in. I felt like it crossed, whether or not they intended this to be a black movie, I don't think they did. It like crossed lines. It had two other movies that came after it. He was the lead. He was beating on the white cops in broad daylight. Like, and by the way, I'm not saying like people should beat up cops. Obviously, that's a terrible thing.
terrible.
But I'm just saying, like in the context of like what's going on socially in our society, like that image, like the fact that they were like, yeah, we'll put that in and like not think twice about it was like, to me, it's like huge. Like Wesley Snipes is an action superstar, so like, yeah, this movie like it did it. Like this is, and what's the only, and it's not a negative of this movie, but I guess a negative of Hollywood is that for whatever reason, like because this movie was successful and showed like people can relate and like and you can do this, they haven't done it again yet, really.
Yeah.
Because even with Iron Man and Captain America, like those black superheroes and X-Men, like they're playing second fiddle. They're like supporting characters, which is fine. Like we like love to be supporting characters too, but like there still wasn't like a black and they do have black superheroes in comic books, even though it's very limited. They're still there. Like we were saying, Green Lantern, you could have done it. So yeah, like for whatever reason, it hasn't materialized as much, even though comic book movies are just constantly being made. Yeah. But I think inevitably it will. And like Blade definitely like set the standard. Like everybody will compare any black superhero film to Blade. So when Black Panther comes out, there's no way that people aren't comparing that to Blade.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
I would say I gave this a fist because of also like all of that, everything that you just said. I can't repeat it all because then, you know, but then also like just sort of with this movie, like granted they only bring up race that one time, that Uncle Tom thing, but then there are the layers to which like why it's important that Blade is black in the first place, which is kind of like the comparisons to the outsider,
being an outsider,
and all that, you know, right? But then also like just in the movie, you know, like they sort of fill out the world with other black people, you know, and seemingly just because, like, just to make the world more unified. It seems
to make the world more real, like
yeah,
a real,
like
a real city.
And I think that is also great and exciting about this movie too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you guys. It's like Blade, Wesley Snipes. Let me talk about Wesley. What Wesley accomplished with this movie is crazy. I just tried to look up to see if he was ever voted sexiest man alive. Apparently, he was like in the running a couple of times. He didn't win, but the mere fact Wesley looks how he looks, and he did make this movie where like race really wasn't an issue. I mean, maybe it was enabled once, but even I took that Uncle Tom comment as just a comparison of like the human trying to be, you know, that kind of thing. So to me, it's like he pulled off a feat that was crazy because he did this at a time where comic book movies weren't big yet. You know what I'm saying? This is after Batman and Robin, which demolished superhero movies for years. You know, it's like he pulled off something that was like a genre film. It was gritty. You know, he actually learned how to fight. Like he had a black lead actress in it,
like sword fight.
Yeah, he became like a thing. And the thing is, it did spawn these sequels. And the beauty about the sequels is that the second one was directed by Guillermo del Toro, who is like a famous, you know, well now he is, but he was like a great director. And then the third one, which people don't like, he was literally surrounded by like other white actors who were built under him, like Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds, Triple H. All these guys built under him. Like
and
the
Ryan
dude playing
Reynolds was
Dracula.
like is a superstar.
Yeah, he was big at that point. So it was like he became something that was like really cool to see. You know, it was like cool to see like this black dude just be a dude. Like you guys just said, it's like he just had a world where other black people existed. It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
You know, he was in America. You know, like it was just so cool to see that. It was like this thing had to get a black face, and to me, it also outside of him just helped save comic book movies. It was like, oh, we can make these movies realistic and like actually get people to like it, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting. He was never actually voted sexiest man alive. But his films weren't, I guess, I mean, we would have to look back at some of those. But,
Well, the thing is, he.
well, except
No,
for
I think some of them. I mean,
some of them
I think
were
he was
clearly
a sex symbol
the
in some of them. Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, he was. I mean, what was it? Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever,
He
yeah.
was the
Clearly
sex
Jungle
symbol.
Fever.
Yeah.
I mean, anything is in what was it? Money Train? He was like the sexy friend. Like it was like
no,
between
he
him
was
and
the
Woody
one that
Harrelson.
was dating.
He was the handsome
J-Lo,
one,
right?
Yeah.
Or one
Yeah.
stage. Yeah.
Well, like both of them were trying to date J-Lo.
Oh, right.
They
But
both were
he
trying-
was the one.
He was the one that was the
right.
handsome one.
Right.
But the thing is like, I mean, if you're gonna go to that, Denzel is the only black man to ever be voted.
Man,
since
screw
he's
that
been
thing.
alive.
Anyway,
I'm just saying. Like,
Will
he's the
Smith
only-
never was.
Will Smith never won it.
That's weird too.
It's only been Denzel, and that was in like 90.
we all know
I just
that.
looked it up. It was like 96.
We all know that
95.
Will Smith is not sexy. So
I mean, no, Will Smith is not a sexy man. I mean, why would he?
I mean, just why would
he's
anybody
like-
think that
Why
Will
would
Smith was sexy?
why would three guys?
Why would three
straight-
guys?
Yeah, why
Why
would
three
three
straight
men? You
be
know,
like, yeah, Will Smith is a
Talk
sexy
sitting
about
man?
Will
in a
Smith's
basement,
sexy.
like,
Like,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever.
why would any of them mention the iRobot scene where he's in the shower? And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
naked
He's like,
and
yeah,
put his
you know,
thing, and like
yeah.
maybe I like shower like that sometimes
Yeah.
because it reminds me
Yeah,
of Will
you know,
Smith.
I mean,
it
and
makes
like-
me feel cool. Like why?
And the thing is, like, do you remember? Like, I mean, I remember that time where he was like super skinny, but then he did Ali and put on that weight, but then he kept some of the mass to like be like
Right,
a Jack hero. But I mean, whatever. I mean, it's
whatever.
nothing like that. You know, it's like he just hits the gym a couple of times a week.
Mike Lowry. I'm sorry. All right, yeah, it's time for some plugs. It's me and JB up in here.
That's right.
Jerah is not here right now because he's busy. He has a wedgie, like a big wedgie.
No,
that he's
stop
like,
it.
He's busy trying to get that
What?
wedgie out.
Doesn't make any
Jerah's trying to get that wedgie
He's
out.
not.
Jerah left so he could.
Okay, you can't even do it.
I'm sorry. I don't like. I'm so mad.
I
that he
know
said-
you were mad at him from before. Okay, but anyway, do you have anything to plug, James?
Yeah, okay, yes. So if you want to find me online, you can go to jamesthirdcomedy.com. Third is 3RD, or at JamesThirdComedy on Twitter and Instagram. And also, if you're in New York on October 29th.
So it's the number 3.
Okay, what? See,
Not
I
like
was about
3
to
Roman
move on.
numerals.
I was somewhere else. It's the number 3. Third
Okay,
is
sorry.
the
I just
number
wanted to
3
clarify.
RD, JamesThirdComedy.com.
It's because when you spell your name, it's like James.
Okay, see, no, it's not. See, I don't think this is as confusing as you are making it out to be. Jonathan has a wedgie that he is currently trying to get out. All right. No, and if you're in New York on Thursday, October 29th at 7:30, come to the People's Improv Theater. I am recording a comedy album.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What's it called?
It's right now. It's called
Working title.
A Comedy Album.
A comedy album. That's funny.
But yeah, you guys can help me. Also, you can pitch titles.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
might suit.
thanks for everybody who came yesterday to our Spank.
Yes, thank you everybody
We
who
appreciate
came out.
that. So you can follow me on Twitter at John Braylock. Go to johnbraylock.com for some videos. Check out shows that I'm doing. Nothing else. Oh, and if you didn't catch that Jim Gaffigan show,
Oh yes.
yo, watch it again. Like, go online and find. I think it's on Hulu. I
let's-
think it's on
Let's
TVland.com.
let this thing go viral. Let's let this episode
Yeah.
go viral. So go to TV
The thing
Land.
is, it might go viral, but it has nothing to do with me. There's so many other cameos in that show.
let it go viral and then put something in the YouTube comments or in the TV Land comments. This is for Jonathan.
This is for
Braylock.
John Braylock. Yeah. And then also follow us at Black Men Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, and we have a Facebook now, Black Men Can't Jump fan page. I think I don't know.
We don't know what it
It's
is.
Black Men Can't Jump. Yeah, and rate and review us on iTunes.
All right.
All right, that's all. And next week,
Next week we have a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing Coming to America.
Coming to America. We doing Eddie Murphy again,
We have
guys.
returned to Eddie Murphy. This is
We
our
have
first
to.
time returning to an
Because,
actor.
oh, goodness gracious. But of course we are. And we have a special guest.
Very special guest.
Natasha
Rothwell.
Okay. You need to Google her right now if you
Yes.
don't know her. But she's an incredible comic. Very, very funny.
So funny.
And we're so excited to have her on and talking about Coming to America. So check that film out. It's on Netflix. And we will see you next week.
Later.
That was a HeadGum podcast.